Motor City is a new revenge movie starring Ellen Richardson and Shailene Woodley, and it's about this guy who gets framed for a crime, goes to jail, and I don't know exactly how many years it was, but years later is able to get out of jail, and he goes after the guy who ruined his life. The guy who framed him, the guy who took Shailene Woodley from him, and just all around get revenge. And this is a movie that is different than a lot of other movies for the simple reason that there is really no dialogue. There is very, very few scenes where there's actual dialogue, and it's usually just a sentence. And for that reason, I think this movie was really cool. Just like seeing a movie where they tell a story, but without, like, dialogue. I'd heard about this movie last year. I thought it was releasing last year, but it released this year. And I've been really excited for this one. I don't know exactly why I got, like, hung up on this specific movie, but, like, I was really excited for this movie. And watching it, it was just a bit disappointing. It's still a good movie. Like, I gave it a 4 out of 5. But just, like, watching the trailers and, like, hearing, like, what this movie would kind of be like, I was expecting, like... I really was expecting, like, a 5-star movie. Like, for me, if a movie is, like, really good to me, it's easy for me to give it, like, 5 stars. Because I just like doing that. But, and, like, I just think a lot of movies are really good. But, this one didn't quite get there. Because my biggest problem with this is really two things. One, I think that once Ellen Richardson goes to prison and you spend time with Shailene Woodley and Ben Foster, I think the movie kind of slows down a little bit and it spends a little bit too much time with those characters. I get what they're going for. They want to build up this relationship and just, like, how bad this guy is and, like, blah, 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 and, like, stuff like that. But I just don't like how much time it's spent on them. And I went into this movie expecting a little bit more action, and you don't really get that. You really get action in the last, like, 20-ish or so minutes. There is not, like, anything before. That being said, I thought that it was really well done. I thought the way they did the story and everything was really good. Alan Richardson obviously is a really good actor. He has made some comments in real life that aren't my favorite, but I really like his acting. Obviously, Reacher is, like, one of my favorite shows ever. I really like his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. War Machine from earlier this year is great. I liked this. He was in one of Guy Ritchie's movies that I really liked. He's just a really good actor that I like seeing do stuff. And in this, I thought his acting was really good, where he has to portray a guy who's, like, hurt and wants revenge and, like, all these different things, and I think he does that really well. I think Shailene Woodley was really good as her character, and just her kind of story with Alan Richardson was really good as well, where at the beginning of the movie, like, he proposes, and then he, like, as he's proposing, the police show up and arrest him. And I thought that they worked really well together and, like, separated and blah, blah, blah. And then Ben Foster, obviously you don't like his character, but I think he plays the character well, where you're supposed to hate him. So I guess he works in that aspect. And then there is this cop who's kind of like an evil cop who works with Ben Foster. He wasn't my favorite, but there was an action scene with him and Ellen Richardson in an elevator that I thought was fantastic. And, like, just, like, the way they are able to tell a story without dialogue is really good. And, like, that's the big reason to watch the movie, is just to see a movie where there's, like, no talking. And, like, there's music in the background for most of it because, like, they don't want you to sit in a theater with just dead silence for most of the movie. And I think that, like, the way they use music is really good. They use, like, some, like, songs as well with, like, singing and everything that I thought was really good. And then there are just some music that is just, like, just music without any singing. I thought it worked really well. And then I think the last 20 minutes is just great. Like, I thought the last 20 minutes was just, like, perfect. Whereas like the earlier section of the movie I thought was really good. It's just like some of it wasn't my favorite, but the last 20 minutes I thought was like terrific. And there's a scene with Alan where he's like cutting his hair in a bathroom, and he kind of has just like he just kind of like punches a mirror, rips a wall out, and then he puts his head into the sink and like screams. And I thought that was really like a really good scene. But like I don't have much else to say about the movie. It's just that like it's a really good movie. I would recommend seeing it, and it's a really like I think it's a really good movie. It's just like there were a few things here and there that weren't my favorite and kind of held it back a little bit. That being like my two big problems that I have with the movie is that I think when it focuses on Shailene Woodley and Ben Foster in like a section of the movie after he goes to prison for a little while, I think it slows down a little bit, and I would have liked a little bit more of like Alan Richardson, just because like he's the main character. I get why they do it, like past time and everything. And it's like he goes to prison, next time you see him he's got like this beard and like long hair and everything, showing that time's passed. But I just would have liked that section to not like be as long as it was. And then I think that it could have used a little bit more action, where for the first hour and 10-15 minutes, it is really just like set up almost. Like there's not really much action. And like I don't want to say it gets boring, but like when it's marketed as like this revenge thriller with action and stuff, I would have liked a little bit more. But like that being said, like I thought the last 20 minutes was great, and the last scene I thought was really good, where Alan Richardson says his like only words of the movie, and like there was makeup that had to go in, and like I thought it was really good. But yeah, I liked Motor City. It just wasn't as great as I thought it would be, but I still recommend it. Like it's still a really good movie. If you've seen it, tell me what you thought, and I will have my review for The Dink out soon. So stay tuned for a review on a new comedy. I will see you then.